Zisha of the Rithkin people had always been the strongest, the fiercest, the deadliest among her kind. She had trained since childhood, fought beasts that could tear through steel, survived the harshest environments that would have melted lesser beings into nothing. She was the pinnacle of her species, a warrior, without equal a force of nature, bound by nothing except the desire to push further, to test her limits, to prove that there was no creature in the universe as mighty as a Rithkin. The Rithkin homeworld was a death world by every possible measure. The gravity crushed anything weaker than its people. The storms raged with winds that could flay flesh from bone. The creatures that stalked its surface were nightmares given form. Zisha had faced them all and conquered them, each scar on her body a testament to battles fought and won, each victory a song sung by the elders, a mark of her superiority. Were fragile, soft beings who spoke of peace and diplomacy, who flinched at the mere thought of violence. None could match her, none could offer her the challenge she craved. None could understand what it meant to be born in fire and fury. Then she met the human. It was on a remote station, a place where traders, smugglers, mercenaries, and wanderers of all kinds converged. She had heard whispers of them. Before the humans, creatures from a world that was dangerous, but surely not as harsh as Rithka. They were spoken of in strange ways. Some called them resilient, others reckless. Some claimed they were weaklings, others swore they were the deadliest beings alive. Zisha dismissed them as exaggerations, tales spun by those who had never faced true danger. But when she saw one for the first time, she knew something was different. The human was not large compared to her kind. He was not covered in the natural armor that Rithkins bore. His frame looked fragile, his skin too soft to withstand real combat. Yet there was something in his stance, something in the way he moved, as though he were always on the edge of a fight, always ready to strike or evade. She approached him with curiosity, with the certainty that she had nothing to fear. He met her gaze, unflinching. His eyes held something she had never seen before, something unreadable, a storm hidden beneath the surface. "You fight," she said, testing him. "Sometimes," he answered, his voice calm, controlled. She laughed, a sound that sent shivers through those around them. "Humans are weak," she declared. "There is no way one of you could stand against a Rithkin." He tilted his head, studying her, considering her words, and then he smiled, not a grin of arrogance, not a smirk of dismissal, but a quiet, knowing smile, as if he understood something she did not. "Want to test that?" he asked. The challenge was too tempting to ignore. She led him to a sparring arena, a place where warriors trained, where strength was tested. The onlookers gathered, murmuring among themselves, watching with disbelief, some whispering that she would break him, others muttering that he would not survive even a single blow. Zisha took her stance, her muscles coiling with anticipation. She would go easy at first, she told herself. Give him a chance to see how he moved. Then she would end it quickly, cleanly, without humiliation. She lunged, her speed unmatched, her fists like hammer strikes, aimed to end the fight before it could begin. But he was not there. He moved with a precision she had never witnessed before, slipping past her attack, his body flowing like water, adapting, shifting, reacting before she could comprehend what had happened. He had struck her, not a powerful blow, not one meant to wound, but a controlled, precise touch that sent shock rippling through her limbs. Shock turned to excitement. Again she roared, this time throwing everything she had into the fight. Her strikes came faster, harder, her every motion honed through years of battle. But he met her with something she could not understand. He did not block with brute force. He redirected, he absorbed. He twisted her power against her. Where she expected resistance, she found emptiness. Where she sought to crush, she found herself unbalanced. Every move he made was a lesson, every strike a revelation. She had fought monsters that could rip apart warships, but she had never fought like this. She had never been outmatched. In skill only, in raw power. And yet here was a human, a creature she had dismissed, showing her that strength was not just muscle and might, but something deeper, something crafted through experience and intelligence. The fight did not last long, but it changed her forever. When it was over, she lay on the ground, staring at the ceiling of the arena. Panting, her body aching, her mind racing, the human stood over her, offering a hand to help her up. She took it, gripping his wrist, feeling the calloused hands of a warrior. "What are you?" she asked, voice tinged with something she had not felt in a long time. "Respect." "Just a human," he said, and walked away. She watched him go, knowing that her journey had only just begun. She had spent her life seeking challenge, believing herself the pinnacle of strength. Now she knew better. Now she had a new goal. She would learn, she would grow, she would understand what made humans the deadliest beings in the galaxy.